Hello everyone, this is a collective reading for all signs who are interested. I'm using the Weight deck, even though I prefer my own cards here. I don't know, I just felt drawn to the Weight deck. Even though it's always a bit negative, I mean all the faces look a bit strict and I don't know, sometimes I don't like this deck. Not this specific style of the deck, I actually like this Art Nouveau style, but I don't know, some days it just gives me a weird feeling. And there's, at least I feel this way, especially here, this Queen of Wands. Like many of those characters here, they have these super mean devilish faces. I just sometimes don't want to use it. And I don't know, in my deck, I'm trying to keep everything as positive as possible, even though, you know, life is not always 100% positive. You know, I like to keep it a little bit more innocent, even though I experientially know that life can sometimes be very, very hard and scary. But yet, in my art, I preferred, you know, to keep it just pretty and nice. I don't know, I can't explain why today. I just feel like using this classic deck here with the mean faces. Maybe there's a mean message that wants to come through for all of us. So that's why the mean deck is more appropriate. I don't know. Maybe later I'm going to use some of my own cards. I haven't decided that yet. I will decide spontaneously. I just felt like doing a reading for everyone. And we are starting with the Two of Swords, crossed by the Queen of Cups. I feel like there is something about, for many of us, we might be trying to figure something out, trying to make a decision by keeping our distance. I don't mean a cold and detached distance, but just taking a step back, trying to be clear and clean about something. For some of us, it could even just be a quite seemingly smaller decision. Like, I don't know, if you're a surgeon, you have to decide if will you take this person's heart out and replace it with an sorry, what's the English word? Not implant. That's not possible. A heart transplantation. Sorry, my God, it's so simple. I mean, for some of us, there could be some really significant and important decision that you're having to make. But for most of us, I feel like it's some kind of small thing, maybe between two things that aren't so different even. It feels quite light so far. I don't know what's coming next. There's something about that. And it's weird because I feel like both of these cards are representing the Querens energy. And in one image, our side is blocked, blindfolded. Yet we are having, or trying to have, this very clear, clean, sharp outlook from quite a distance. Like there is some internalizing and also externalizing and analyzing going on at the same time. Like this profound inner searching for an answer, yet at the same time not, you know, using your gut feeling and intuition, but also using your intellect and your logic mind. Like maybe there's just a very good balance of those two aspects right now in many of us. And I feel like it's also regarding several things at once for many of us. Maybe a job decision, Not necessarily about changing a job, but how to handle a certain situation within your job. And for many of us, for most of us, what this is mostly about, this is some social thing here regarding family, friends, colleagues. There is something you're trying to make your mind up about. Like, I feel like you have probably in the past few years learned something about several people, learn something about life, to see through certain people and things. But it feels like this is even deepening more right now. And let's just say you went through a phase where something nasty happened, something that was very, very traumatic even, and many people abandoned you, or you just realized they were never your real friends during this phase of your life, and you have sorted a lot of people out. And just a few stuck around, but it seems like even now these people you are questioning right now, and I feel like this is happening on a very huge scale. Like, many people are questioning each other right now. I also feel like, wow, this is us, the Aquarians, making ourselves vulnerable as some kind of a trap. Not an evil, manipulative, nasty trap, but just a test. Be vulnerable, be or appear to be weak, defenseless. Go into the background and watch who will take advantage of you being in this situation. As I said already, those cards both represent us as the Aquarians interested in this reading. Stepping back. Watching the people coming towards this defenseless person, this vulnerable person. They are not aware of the Queen of Cups here. And she watches them, how they may take advantage of this person. How will they treat this person in this situation? Interesting. Could, even be that this is the Queen of Cups is your higher self. And that you perceive yourself in your human body mainly as this Two of Swords person. And this person is not even aware of this Queen of Cups, of his or her own higher self or spiritual guidance, putting them on purpose into a vulnerable, weak situation to watch and to test as a trap. Look how people will treat the Two of Swords person. Okay, Three of Swords in the unconscious position, so that is obvious to some extent. Okay, this is a painful situation that we are trapped in, especially not knowing that this is part of our destiny and this is part of our learning process. It is painful to have the realization that people you once trusted misused or took advantage of you being in a weak situation. Yet, the Three of Swords is in the unconscious position, which makes me feel like it is unconscious for the people who are taking advantage of the Two of Swords person. They are not yet aware of the pain that it will once bring, because this Queen of Swords Could be a very high spiritual presence. And one day when they leave their body and leave this life, they might go into places due to their deeds on earth, and they will regret it. We have the devil here. The Three of Swords also makes me feel like a little bit that this Two of Swords person, ourselves, the Aquarians, that we might try to suppress this feeling of pain and disappointment a little bit. We have the Two of Pentacles in the conscious position, right above the Two of Swords. So there is this, weighing out. There is this kind of duality here again. It also has something to do with, trying to make a decision. Or trying to bring something into balance. Both aspects, the Two of Swords and the Queen of Cups, both of them are trying to bring something into balance. She is trying to bring her or his situation here into balance. Because maybe, if the Queen of Cups is the higher self, the so-called higher self, or just the spiritual guidance or something of this Two of Swords person here, then she might have been watching this person for a long time being surrounded by the wrong people, and she's trying to weigh that out, and this is her teaching. By teaching that, she will make this Two of Swords person become aware of the people around her. And regarding the Three of Swords card here, it also means like trying to balance out the emotions that we feel when we have to go through this rough patch in our life. The Fool. The Fool, it can come up in many different ways with many different energies attached to it. It gives me a little bit of feeling of naivety. This is the past energy, so this could be our energy here. It probably is. Like just not looking down into the abyss. Not thinking what will happen if we take the next step. Eyes closed. And then we find ourselves in this situation suddenly. The Empress. That's a good sign. I feel like this is the Aquarian's energy as well. The Queen of Cups now turning into the Empress. Ruling her own emotions and thoughts. Ruling her own life. Being the queen or king of her or his own life. Three of Wands. You can slowly start to see some changes, see something or someone coming in. Slowly seeing it all is good by itself already, because the center of our reading has this blindfolded person here. But this is seeing something on the horizon, watching something that is coming in from a distance. After probably a long time of waiting, even after 3 years for some of us. We have a 2 and a 3, maybe 5 years. We have another 2 and 3 here. Here's also a 3. And I feel like literally the 3 of Wands is not just waiting. It, like, you see it is there. There is proof that it is there. It's just a matter of time. It's not hoping that it will come or waiting something will come and maybe it never comes or it just comes in another 5 years. No, there is literally something coming. And you will soon see the proof. The Wheel of Fortune. There is a change, a shift that we are attracting. Or that, you know, the Queen of Cups, this guidance, this spiritual force is bringing towards us. Even if we're not doing anything, it's just maybe because we inwardly have learned our lesson, we have had our understandings, we saw what she wanted us to see. So now the wheel maybe was frozen for quite a while and now it's spinning again. The Star. There is a kind of vulnerability in this card as well, but it's a different one. This person is like somehow forced to be vulnerable in some way, okay? She or he, I think it's a she, I'm not sure, has 2 swords. Yeah, I think it's a woman. But how could she properly use them with her eyes folded? This is a different kind of vulnerability. This feels very voluntarily. There are no swords. It's very gentle and soft. Like here, she's vulnerable and there could be something around her that she has to fear. But she's brave enough to face this scary thing with her vulnerability. But this one has nothing to fear. She knows she's safe. She doesn't have to be defensive. So there's a shift suddenly. Yes, of course, we had the Wheel of Fortune. There has to be a shift. 6 of Wands. There is a victory coming in for us. And the 8 of Cups. This is something dark that is leaving the Aquarian's life. This is a shadow of someone. I feel like it's not us. It's not the Aquarian. It's like a dark shadow that has been lingering around. I feel like this person hasn't, maybe for some of you, it hasn't even spoken to you. This person hasn't even let you know that they are still watching you or interacting with you mentally in their thoughts. For some of you they did, for others not. just like a lingering shadow, like a ghost, but they are finally leaving. Could even be an old curse leaving. We have the King of Pentacles, very dominant. He looks also quite angry, aggressive, like ready to fight and protect something here. Oh yeah, we have more King energy. King of Wands, he also looks quite brutal, which is not always bad. Sometimes we need that in life because, you know, especially if you're in some kind of situation like this. And many people treat you like prey, and they run to you like hyenas and lions and what's the English word? Vultures. And they, I don't know, while trying to eat you, they even try to eat each other. I don't know, it's terrible. It's a terrible feeling. So sometimes in life we need to have this energy in us, within us, so we can survive somehow. And we have the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles. And I feel like it's not just a metaphor, because we also have the King of Pentacles here. For some of you, this could even be that this situation or person or several people have drained you financially. And we have the Five of Pentacles here as well. Like this could be the energy that you're currently still in. There's something like that makes you worry so much about. Pentacles, we have some more pentacles here. Could even that you are worried about your savings, you know, that you have to use them up, or maybe you borrowed someone a lot of money and they didn't pay it back, or, you know, there's a lot of worry about money, maybe for several years in a row, but it seems to be solved now. Because we have the Wheel of Fortune, and we have, you know, this, it just gives me this feeling of being very, very safe, like knowing, deeply trusting, knowing there is no danger around you anymore. This dark shadow is leaving. Another spread, please. Temperance. There are these two. There's this energy of two again. Weighing, balancing, self-nurturing. Also, it makes me feel like you're taking something back that someone took, and you're giving it back to yourself. We have the Five of Pentacles again. This is the Resistance card. So there is so much worry about this lack. And for most of us, I feel like it's financial stuff, but not for everyone. For a few of you, this, you know, could be a metaphor. Social lack, fear of being abandoned or rejected. There is the Seven of Pentacles again. Giving me a good feeling now. Not, you know, just meaning that maybe you're worried about losing your savings or someone taking away what you have built. And if it's not literal money that's being taken away, it could be, you know, someone discrediting something, some kind of project that you have worked on for 2 years. Actually, the card has a 7. I don't know why I just said 2 years. It just came out of my mouth. Maybe the 7 means something to someone. Ten of Pentacles. So many pentacles. similar feeling here. Like, you know, the Seven of Pentacles reminds me of savings, reminds me of, you know, establishing something over a long period of time. Keep on working on something until you reach this Ten of Pentacles. And this could be literally just money or, you know, a certain career path. Retirement as well. Page of Wands. I feel like this page is someone that you might be afraid of, this page person. Someone you feel like maybe they were watching you, trying, like, for example, a coworker who wants your position and they are watching you, just waiting for you to make a mistake so they can discredit you, or your boss doing that, or someone in your family, like someone who envies you. Or if it's not envy, it is just someone who thinks poorly of you, and they feel like they are more competent in something and they should have something that you have. I don't feel like this reading is trying to tell us that this person will succeed in this or is having some kind of actual plan or proof or, you know, something in their hands to truly do that, but this could be a lingering fear that's on your mind all the time. And I feel like just the opposite of what you are fearing will happen. Like there is this huge pentacle coming in, this huge offer that it's just, this pentacle is so much bigger than all those pentacles here together. It's such a thick, big thing. Like it's really, really big. And I don't know, while you are worried here, that it's just like even creating worst case scenarios, suddenly, you know, behind your back this thing is coming in, like, and it's just wow. And just look at those two cards together here. It looks so full, it looks so big and golden. Five of Wands. Oh, I don't want to see this card. We have it next to this Page of Wands. So I feel like, because it's what you're supposed to understand or realize, it might, you know, be... Maybe you have taken this person's hatred or whatever, you know, their feeling was towards you very personally. And you digested it in some way and started to think about why this person picked you out to compete with. But I feel like you will realize they do that same stuff they did with you to several other people. And, you know, it's... I mean, then you can also feel sorry for the other people. But on the other hand, it's some kind of relief to know that it's not personal. It's just how they are. Sometimes if someone is behaving abusive towards us, we wonder why they picked us. And then we, you know, start to beat ourselves up and blame ourselves for experiencing this kind of abusive stuff. But when we realize they do that to so many people, we take it less personally. And that is some kind of relief. And I also feel like you might realize about this person that they didn't only do that stuff they did to you, to others as well. I feel like they also manipulated others to start fights with each other. Not only with this person, but with each other. There is some German expression that I don't know the translation for, but you know, it's when someone puts... Like people who are so manipulative, they can even tear squads apart friendships. Like they don't talk to two people at the same time. They separate them, and then they, start to talk bad stuff, and they somehow convince the friend that this person talked also some bad stuff about them, so they manage somehow to tear friendships apart. One more card. The Three of Wands again. So yeah, this is just you again. Like your ship to get out of this situation. It's arriving. You can see it already. It's just a matter of time, and it's not a long time anymore. Just a few more cards. We have the Two of Swords again. Oh, maybe I should stop this reading or stop. Oh my God, and the Two of Pentacles again. The Three of Cups. This feels... yeah, it's just a confirmation here. And the Hermit at the bottom. Yeah, this is some kind of teaching that you have learned or that you will learn very soon. And just learning, just understanding will set you free immediately from this position that you're in. You will learn something about, they are quite similar. Sometimes, people say this is some kind of self-imprisonment, this is some kind of self-sabotaging. And sometimes this card truly, I think, can come up this way, but I don't see it always this way, because we cannot not always know that these tapes were taped around her by herself. Like, she could truly be the victim of someone in some cases, and then, just saying, yeah, it's victimization, blah, blah, blah. It's sometimes a little bit victim blaming, because some people truly become victim of someone and they need help. They need to be cut free. And I feel like maybe this is something that you also learned. If people around you, friends or family members that you once trusted, they did not only, as I said in the beginning of the reading, like, when you're in a vulnerable situation that you can easily be exploited in, that people take advantage of you, even if they don't do it directly, actively, they can do it passively, indirectly. Just say something really horrible happened to you, like really traumatic and dangerous, and then you try to open up to someone, a therapist or your friends or all of it. And then they, sometimes just people blame the victim. I feel like you had a very rough lesson about that. And for some, we have the 2 twos here again. 3, so this could be an energy that you were trapped in somehow for 2 or 3 years, but you are getting out of it. It feels very freeing. I have this free feeling the whole time during the whole reading, and the 3 of Cups, it feels very good. So for some of you, if you're not entirely by yourself by now, if you still have some loyal people around you, you might soon find a reason to celebrate with them. For others of you, this could just be you internally, like celebrating. You can also celebrate by yourself. However it resonates for you. The Page of Swords, I feel, is a bit of our own energy, the Aquarian's energy, like feeling defensive. Cutting yourselves out of this situation, and attacking everyone who wants to squeeze us back into the situation. It's a weird thing. I have often had this feeling that, or not this feeling, it was actually, it just was like that often, that the people who said, yeah, you should be more like this, or you should more go into this direction, or do that, blah, 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 become like this. When you actually do what they tell you, then they will hate you suddenly, envy you, and try to push you back into this victimized situation, into this helpless situation. You know, sometimes when you have experienced something really traumatic and you seek help from a very cold person because you're not really aware of how cold they are, and they somehow misuse that intimate information that they have about you, or they misuse that trust that you put into them, that you offer them by opening up about this terrible thing that happened to you. And they just start to, you know, trample on you. Tell you should be strong, or you're victimizing yourself, blah, blah, blah. And then when you become stronger and you get yourself out of those chains, they suddenly can't handle it. They hate it. And this is you not letting this near you anymore. I'm not gonna pull any more cards here. The reading is quite long, and I feel like there's just the same thing coming up here. I'm gonna pull some cards from my animal messages here. Sarcastic. I have to mention that those cards are very sarcastic. So we have the Jaguar. I'm a loner, so that is very suitable here for the situation. This could be our feeling, the Aquarians feeling like we just want to walk by ourselves for quite a while, just, you know, withdraw from all this social mess. Horse, I'm loyal, but I can throw you off when I'm moody. Okay, this totally makes sense, doesn't it? So this is us, this is the Aquarians. You can be someone's best friend. You let them ride on your back. You are stable, you are grounded. You are strong and fit like this horse. You can protect them. You can bring them anywhere they want. But if they, you know, start to treat you like shit, you can just throw them off. Then we have the Elephant. It's just the same message again. I'm social and empathetic, but I can stomp you to death. What else do I have to explain? It's just the same energy. And the Sloth, I'm lazy and I know it. And I feel like this is some kind of a little bit of a provocative energy. Oh, the Snail here is also slow moving energy. Like the Sloth reminds me a little bit of the Page here. There's a little bit of a provocation coming in. Like you just hanging from the trees, smiling. Indirectly provoking someone by just feeling comfortable. And, you know, maybe you were very active like a horse, like a jaguar, like, you know, fast, active. Maybe you physically helped this person a lot, but they, you know, when you were in need, no one helped you. And now you just, you know, withdrawing all this energy, just hanging around, not being active for anyone anymore. Smiling at them like, just see what your life is becoming without my help. When I needed help, you weren't there. This is the vibe that this sloth is giving me. Could also just be a reminder, you know, to keep your energies to yourself, or you are already doing that. And suddenly the page also makes me feel like it's not only the Aquarian's energy, it's at the same time also the other person's energy. Maybe even trying to beat the sloth, but they can't reach it because it's hanging so highly on the tree. And as I said, we have the snail here, so they are both slow. It just gives me a very homely and a comfortable, cozy feeling here. Like there's something about slowing down, resting. Reminding me of the star card we had earlier. Let's see, one more. Bird of Paradise. I'm sexy and I know it. I don't know, this just feels very provocative to me as well. Could feel that, could be that maybe for a long time you felt, you know, very terrible in your own skin because maybe people around you, you know, when you're in certain life circumstances, surrounded by people who think poorly of you, maybe that's what you also start. You start to think about yourself this way as well. So there is something about confidence here in both of these cards. Okay. And then I also want to pull some health and lifestyle cards. And, you know, as I always say, don't take them too seriously or literally. They do not replace a doctor's advice. So we have music, so that could be helpful for the Aquarian, for us as a collective. Then we have tidy and clean, can also be helpful sometimes. Maybe some of us still have some spring cleaning to do, or, you know, just, you know, cleaning can sometimes bring this feeling of structure, this feeling of control. Can be like a therapy, and sometimes it's just necessary. Iron. So very obvious, maybe some of us need more of that. We have learn. Maybe it's time to study something. Maybe you have postponed something. And water, it's just right below cleaning. So maybe there's something about that. We had water. We had the Queen of Cups, which is water. And we had the Star card, which is also related to water. And we had the Temperance card. You know, in the Temperance card, I don't know if I can find it that quickly right now. No, it's not here immediately. You know, there's this water and she puts her foot into the water. So there's a lot of water in general here, which can just stand for cleansing, metaphorically cleansing our energies, cleansing our thoughts and emotions. But for some of us, you know, literally cleaning physically around us. Also, of course, what it can mean is just that a reminder that we have to drink more water, and we have apples, so we have savings here as well. I was talking about that earlier with the Seven of Pentacles. But the apple card also represents just health in general. So for a few of us, it could mean that apple would be very helpful for us, like literally eating apples. But, you know, just taking care of our health, drinking more water, there's a reminder here as well. I think apples are also physically, biologically related to cleansing. Some certain acids in the apple that can, you know, or at least they say that, cleanse certain things in our bodies. So maybe there's something here as well for some of us. So I'm gonna end this reading here. Thank you for watching.